Hey everyone, back again during the week I should say, for another live reaction to UnOrdinary. So, those of us in the UnOrdinary fandom have recently relished in the fact that Line Webtoon has added a feature for UnOrdinary called Fastpass, which if you pay a certain amount of coins, which is Webtoon's currency, you can get access to episodes early. So of course I did that. I emailed Uru if it would be okay to still do reactions to the Fastpass episodes. She said it was fine. She just doesn't want pictures of them to be released just yet. She wants that to be done after the chapters have been officially released. So, that's what I'm here doing today. I will say, I read the chapters yesterday because I was too excited. I was like, I got to know what happens. So, don't have access to it on the Line Webtoon online website. Have to do it through the app. That's through their app on Android and iPhone. That's the only way that the Fastpass is available currently. So, I said yesterday that the format of my videos might be changing soon. However, this isn't. Actually, I just said that yesterday. Anyway, it's still pretty much going to be the same format for now, but instead of looking directly at the camera because I'm looking at the computer, I'm going to be doing it looking at my phone, so I'm going to be looking down a lot. So, I've already read these chapters, so you're not going to get my real, true reaction, but I thought I would still give you guys like something for these chapters because I figured you guys still might want to see. And after rereading it a few times, like I started to notice a few things too. I've read these chapters a lot, and I still have a lot to say about them. So, hope you guys enjoy it. Next week, Uru has confirmed that Fastpass will also be updated weekly. So, we'll still get reaction videos every week, and they'll still be live reactions for me. Anyway, let's jump right in. So we have 3 more chapters of UnOrdinary to get through. Episodes 134 through 136. We last left off with Cecile stepping in for John and Sarah, stopping Martin. Still don't know what her ability is. It's a bummer. But let's jump right in. We left off. Sarah was confused about why Cecile was interfering, like why she was stepping in for Sarah. Because I'm pretty sure Cecile doesn't necessarily like Sarah, or she's just kind of like has the same view of her as Arlo or whatever. Anyway, let's jump right in. And it's John leaving like Sarah going to his class. Alrighty, I'll catch you after school then. Yeah, I guess so. And John just walks off, and Sarah's confused. And so she goes into class, and everyone's just staring at her, and she just starts taking a seat. And one thing that I'm really excited Uru is doing, at least I think she's doing it, is she's bringing Evie into the story. I love Evie. She's adorable. I want to know more about her ability. I still say she's ranked number 9, just secret high tier, or secret elite tier hiding. Anyway, so Sarah sees her in her class. Oh, it's you. And then my phone is freezing up because my phone sucks. Oh, it's you. Sorry, I just closed the app and reopened it. Awkward pause. And I think it might be the Webtoon app. Okay, so I really should have just started another recording, but I really don't want to, so... Oh, it's you. Since when are you in this class? since the beginning of the year. And Sarah doesn't know because she never attended classes before. And so we're at the cafeteria now, and it's Sarah just eating lunch, getting lunch by herself, and she sees Evie. And like I was saying, I love Evie. I think she's adorable. I want to know more about her. She's becoming friends with Evie, it looks like, which I'm really stoked about, because I want to see more Evie. I want to know more about her. I want to know more about a lot of characters. But Evie just stands out because she's so cute. Anyway, mind if I sit here? No, not at all. Please, go right ahead. You're Evie, right? Huh? How do you know my name? Arlo told me. That's a flashback to Arlo in the infirmary with Sarah. Pigtails, red hair, about this tall. And then, thanks for your help yesterday. If not for you, who knows what state I'd be in. Oh, it was nothing. I was only doing my part. And then it's adorable, like, closer shot of her, like, wow, I can't believe this. Arlo remembers me, and Seraphina is sitting right across the table. And then, oh my god, she's so cool. What is it? Huh? I don't think I've seen you in the cafeteria before. Oh yeah, that's usually because I eat lunch on the roof. But recently I lost my rooftop privileges. I'm just your everyday low tier now. Right, but you're still able to stick up for yourself. You're really strong. The way you beat up Howard was amazing. It was pretty cool seeing Sarah, like, she didn't necessarily take him down, but she got him to, like, back off. Even with my ability, I'd never be brave enough to stand up to him. You made it look so easy. This far down the ladder, abilities become irrelevant. Howard's only weapon are his hands. Just avoid them, and he's as powerless as a cripple. And that's true, actually. There are a lot of freaking mid-tiers who they're just like one-trick ponies, like Howard. And in my personal opinion, Krail, Strong Punch, is kind of the same thing. And then just avoid them. So it was an easy fight, and I was just like, so cool. Wow. But I probably won't be doing something like that again. And then she's remembering the night before, the last few days. I'm not looking for trouble. Seraphina, you're always so calm and confident. You don't let anything Wait, what? You don't let anything bog you down. That's a strange wording. Never heard that before. I wish I could be like you, but I'm just a nervous wreck. She's saying that she's nervous, not that she's powerless. She's saying that she doesn't think she'd be able to stand up for herself. I'm saying right now that Evie is an elite tier. I'm saying she is rank 9. You quote me on that. She's probably not going to end up being rank 9. Anyway. Confident, huh? And then my next favorite part of these next few chapters is, so that scene in the cafeteria ends, and we're back with Cecile. She's just walking down the hall, and Cecile, earlier, what was that about? And it's John confronting her. I was lending you a hand. I was lending you a hand. Isn't that what you wanted? How about a thank you? You sure do your research. Don't think I can't see through your intentions. It'd be best for you to suck up to someone else. I love this interaction because it shows that John isn't so trusting anymore. He's not interacting with Cecile because he wants to be her friend like he was with Arlo and Seraphina. He's interacting with her because she's trying to use him. Like, he knows that right off the bat. I have no interest in becoming king. Actually, I beg to differ. If that were really the case, you would have been more careful when you fought with Ison, and chosen a private location with no witnesses, instead of displaying your strength in front of a large audience. You wanted the students to be aware of your existence, didn't you? You used Ison to make your debut. And then John just smiles. You're giving me a lot of credit. What if I told you I was just too angry at the time to give a shit about who was watching? It would make sense, because in the past, John has kind of done that. Like, when he first fought against Kralik, like, in front of the school, he was like when Ison spotted him, he was like, that does not line up with what people have been saying about him. He, like, was, like, really angry because the superhero poll. And then also, when he was looking for Sarah, he had, like, random bits of anger, and, like, he didn't care who was watching. Whoever, like, touched him, like, got punched. Anyway, so, what if I told you I didn't give a shit about who was watching? You'd be lying. After spending all this time hiding, you wouldn't reveal yourself without a purpose. If you say so. I know you're displeased with the way everything is being run around here. I've worked under Arlo for 3 years now, and I'm fed up losing status because of his bad decisions. To be fair, Arlo is, like I've said this in previous React, Arlo himself isn't acting like a high tier. He is ignoring hierarchy, not listening to John, and disrespecting Serafina the way he did. Everything is still your fault, Arlo. Anyway, just like you, I'm ready for a change of pace. You say that now, and as much as I want to see John dethrone Arlo because we all hate him, not everyone clearly. Like, Arlo does have some good qualities about him. But Ison warned you, lady. Like, he really warned you. And actually, something I remembered wanting to bring up. She must know that John is the one who beat up Junie to that extent, right? Like, she has to know that he's the one who did that to Zeke and Junie and the others. So, like, maybe Cecile really didn't care about her staff, but then again, like, she did respect Junie's writings, and she respects Terrence's writings, even though he's such a low tier. And she also likes Ison's stories. Like, she's admitted that he's one of her best, but she kind of hates him because of Arlo. Anyway, I want him dethroned. That's why I've chosen to follow you. Pretty bold decision on your part. But I get it. We have similar goals, after all. Yes, I believe we do. Well, this turned out differently from what I expected. I actually came to tell you to stay away, but if you insist on working for me, it'd be a waste to say no. I guess I'll see you around. And then he starts walking off. And this is actually one of my favorite interactions with John, even though it shows kind of his darker side. He accepted my help so easily. John, wait! That's it? You're not worried I'll expose you? Why would I be? I'm your only ticket to gaining status. So you wouldn't dare piss me off. And he's right. She has seen what she can do. She was terrified of him when she confronted him and told him that she knew where Serafina was. She was petrified. And she knows that he kicked Arlo to the curb. And I don't think I brought this up at the end of my last video, but one thing I thought was really cool, he's basically doing the same thing he did to her that he said to Ison, only Blyke. Only Blyke doesn't know. When he returned to the dorm, and Blyke was like, don't worry, like, I'm going to take care of everything, it's going to be great, I'm going to be the one to take down the mask guy, Nepsinol. And then John was just like, I'm not scared. Like, I'm not scared of you, dude. Like, you're not going to do anything to me. Anyway, and now the ending for chapter 134, right? Yeah, 134 leaves off with Keon and Nadia back at Wellston. Back here again, huh? I can't put my finger on it, but something about this place throws me off. Let's just get this over with. Come, Nadia. Yes, sir. And it's John in class. John, please report to the main office immediately. UnOrdinary episode 134. End. We're going to jump right into chapter 135. I'm not going to cut the video here. It's just going to be one long reaction. Or not reaction, discussion, really. But these next few chapters, I'm I'm happy with the results, but they're also big cliffhangers, and they make me suspicious as well. You'll understand why when we get into them, when we discuss them, but Uru really outdid herself, because I wasn't expecting these things. Like, again, nothing gets confirmed. I'm just going to say that right now. Nothing gets confirmed. It's just my suspicions have arisen. And I'm starting to, like, think things in my head, and I'm like, if this is really how it is, like, I did not see this coming. I guess I did see it coming now, but I didn't see it coming before. Did not see it coming before. Anyway. So, Keon is back at Wellston. Keon last time said that he wanted to talk with John before taking Seraphina to the 3-month program at the readjustment facility. And so, John, please report to the principal's office immediately. To the main office immediately. UnOrdinary episode 135. And John knocks at the door. Come in. Sir, you wanted to see me? And he sees that Keon's in the room. John, it's been a while. And then John just starts breathing heavily. And then he's remembering, like, what Keon did to John was not okay. Like, yeah, he was a problem child, but, like, you completely destroyed this kid. Like you completely shattered him. And I get it. Like, this is a completely different world from the one we live in today. A world where guys and girls can beat up each other easily. Or not easily, like, without worry, I should say. But, it's just really... I feel for John, like, for what he went through, like, with Keon. Because, yes, he was troubled. Like, yes, he was kind of a tyrant. He definitely wasn't a good kid. But, like, he was still fairly young when, like, that whole thing went to him. And then, Headmaster Vaughn. John? John, are you alright? Yeah. Sorry. I just spaced out for a second. Okay. Please, have a seat. And then he sits down. Allow me to introduce you. This is Mr. Keon, which I believe you're already familiar with. And the other is Miss Nadia. They represent the authorities, and are here to ask you a few questions about the book UnOrdinary. Okay, sure. And then, one thing Uru does in this chapter, she gives Vaughn, a lot of expressions. What I mean by that is she does, like, little, like, right now, like, it's a shot of him, and it's just, like, 3 little lines, like, he notices something's up with John, and he's not saying anything. Calm down, John. There's no need to be so nervous. Alright, then. And it's Nadia. Let's begin. This is an official interrogation issued by the authorities. You are expected to answer all questions with honesty. Any false response will be detected and will result in immediate expulsion. Is that understood, John? Yes. And then John's arms are shaking. He's remembering back to when he had the cuffs on him. John, are you currently in possession of any copies of UnOrdinary? And I want to talk about this too, because it's something I don't think I've brought up, but it's something that I noticed while I was, like, each time I've been rereading the series. Come on, calm down. Those classes happened ages ago. Pull yourself together. No, I got rid of mine. That's technically a lie, because Seraphina is the one who got rid of it. I think she said that she burned it when Nadia interviewed her. Which, oh shit. I'm gonna come back to a point I just thought of. Because I'm pretty sure that is technically a lie, because John didn't get rid of his. Seraphina got rid of it. Anyway, how long was the book in your possession before then? Before then? Maybe 2 years? Before its publication. And how did you manage to get your hands on it so early? Well, my dad wrote it. He gave me the first copy. What? You must be joking. No, he's telling the truth. He is. Then where is your father now? The authorities haven't penalized him for UnOrdinary's publication? I guess not. I mean, he's been a free man since the book was banned. Was he in trouble before, like during its release? He might have worked something out with the authorities. Doesn't seem like they have a problem with him, though. Hey, it's not like he meant any harm. He wrote the book to help me get better. Get better? How? You fucking destroyed him, you jackass. Well, after I got back from my lessons, I had a really hard time dealing with myself. This was my dad's way of reaching out to me. It worked, in a weird way. I read UnOrdinary almost every night. You what? And then slams his hand on the desk. John, are you out of your damn mind? What the hell were you thinking? And then this is where Vaughn starts stepping in. Keon, this is the second time you've lost your temper in my office. I won't tolerate it again. Is that understood? Excuse me, Headmaster. The number of times John has read the book is irrelevant. As long as his values weren't compromised, then he hasn't done anything wrong. And then John just keeps breathing heavy. I have no intention of becoming a superhero if that's what you're worried about. That thought never crossed my mind. And he did say that. He did say that. Well, maybe he hasn't said it, but John hasn't expressed interest in becoming a superhero like Remy did. Like Blyke is kind of doing. I didn't reread the book because I wanted to be like the main character or anything. Then why? I used the book as reassurance. And then it's a flashback to when John read the book and he was picturing himself in the crowd with the superhero. Those currently in power are always working to better the world for the rest of us. Reading it made me feel safe. I want to talk about this later after a very specific part. Actually, after the very next part. Yes, and the Nadia steps in. The authorities are doing their best for everyone. You can put your faith in us. No, we can't. You guys are working for Ember. Something I'll talk about later again. Really? This kid hasn't told a single lie yet? Wait. That also might be construed as a lie because John suspects the authorities had something to do with Sarah. He doesn't trust them because he told Arlo and Elaine we're not bringing the authorities into this. So clarify. Do you agree with the book's ideals? Nope. I don't believe everyone should be treated with equal respect. And I don't plan on using my ability to help out random strangers. That's your job. I've got my own issues to focus on. This is what I wanted to talk about. So, what John just said, I don't think others should be treated with equal respect. Something I noticed after rereading UnOrdinary, the whole series. John truly believed that everyone had work to bring before Arlo stepped in. I'm just going to say that for time frame's sake. John truly believed like everyone had something to offer. He was like Ray in a way. Like, didn't mean to make that rhyme. He was like Ray. He thought that everyone had something to contribute, kind of like how Ray like treated everyone with respect. He like helped out the little guys of Wellston. But after he lost his copy of UnOrdinary, he couldn't read it anymore. He couldn't get the reassurance that everyone had something of value to bring. And so, like you say now he no longer believes that people should be treated with equal respect. Now he's leaning closer to hating everyone again. Like when he asked his dad if he had an extra copy of UnOrdinary, if he had any others, because he wanted to get the book again so he can keep reading it, keep getting that reassurance. And because he can't get a copy of it anymore, he's probably not going to get that reassurance for a long time. Anyway, all clear, sir. Very well. So how's your life at Wellston been? I've made a few friends, raised my grades, and learned some good studying habits. Just moved in the dorms and got my first roommate. I see. That's good to hear. Well, that concludes our interrogation. Whew. And then he stands up. John, looks like you're really doing much better now. It was good to see you again. And then he's offering John a handshake, and John is looking at his hand. He's remembering when Keon put his hand on him and made him remember everything. Yeah. And Vaughn is noticing that, seeing how nervous John is. Good to see you too. All right, you're free to go. And then John is just standing at the door, falls down, and then, get out of my head. So, that was John's interrogation. Then the next chapter, last chapter for today, 136. Chapter 135. It was good. It was good to see that Keon is still affecting John. And that also will play into the next chapter a bit too. Because John is definitely really affected by what Keon did to him. Now granted, what Keon necessarily did was make John remember and see everything that he did to his classmates, at least from what we saw him reminding John. But maybe there was more to it. And let's see, what else is there? Oh, John told a few lies in the interview. So I'm wondering if this is just like he really was telling the truth, or because he was so much stronger than Nadia, he was able to dodge a few things. But yeah, it was really interesting also to see the path that John is walking right now. Like I said just a bit ago, because he hasn't been able to reread UnOrdinary, he hasn't agreed with its philosophy. He doesn't care about people anymore. He doesn't want to try and make friends anymore. He's not willing to trust anyone anymore because of what Arlo did to him. And that's also going to play into next chapter. Been saying that a bunch too. Which I think that was everything I wanted to talk about for chapter 135. So let's jump into episode 136. So we're still in the office for Headmaster Vaughn with Keon and Nadia. Headmaster Vaughn, I'd like another meeting with him next week. In the meantime, I ask that you please keep him out of school. You want me to suspend another one of my students. I'm the one running this school, not you, Mr. Keon. You will have no meeting, and there will be no suspension. Sir, John expressed he has no interest in the book's message, correct? Yes. And tell me, Miss Nadia, and did he tell any lies, Miss Nadia? No, sir. So then, what seems to be the problem? UnOrdinary, episode 136. As I've mentioned in the past, it's a precaution. The authorities don't want the book's message to spread, and John was once a problem child. We shouldn't let him off so easily. Keon, the boy has had this book since before it was even released to the public. If he had any interest to share it, don't you think the entire school would be out there in the streets fighting crime by now? When John enrolled into Wellston, he requested his rank be kept secret. He rarely uses his ability and has no influence on the other students. That's something that worries me, because Keen and Darren, Doc, know that it was John who beat up Arlo. They know that it was John. They didn't necessarily say it, but Keon was like, that had to have been John. And Doc was like, John actually has been acting very irritable lately. So they have to know that John is the one behind these beatings, right? They haven't necessarily shown it, but they've acknowledged that the staff is aware of what John's capable of. And the staff also kind of doesn't, except for Doc, when Blake and Ison were fighting in the halls during class, they haven't necessarily expressed concern for when students get beat up. Doc cares about the students because he wants to reduce school injury, and he's been healing John ever since. John himself hasn't... Well, no, John has been to the infirmary in a while. I think it hasn't been a while because of everything that's been happening with him beating the crap out of everyone, but he has still been going to the infirmary. Anyway, like, Doc actually cared about John. Maybe he doesn't anymore because he's seen what John's doing, but he was still willing to help out John. He gave John his phone number, like, because he was like, if you need help, call me. Like, well, not help, but like, if you need medical aid, call me, because you're a dumbass. Anyway, they have to know. And Keon saying that he has no influence over the other students, it's like he's planning to dethrone Arlo. So he is probably going to get some influence. And he also has Cecile in his bag now. Anyway, he wants to keep to himself. I see no reason to worry about that book. Headmaster. I've always wondered why John was so ashamed of his own talents. But after observing his demeanor around you, I now finally understand. He was one of your students, wasn't he? Yes. What exactly do you teach during these readjustment courses? I'm not authorized to give you any specifics, sir, but it varies depending on the students. Okay, so not every student has to go through Keon. And it would make sense because John was like a child who was out of control. Sarah is just one who's been influenced by UnOrdinary, which they may deem as more dangerous, but seeing as how she has no ability now, there'd be no point in her becoming a superhero. Interesting. A few weeks ago, you wanted to enroll Serafina into one of these classes as well. Yes, everything has been prepared. I'll be back to collect her in a few days. No. You can forget about it. What? You can't just... I won't agree until I get a detailed explanation of those classes. With all due respect, sir, it's not up to you to decide. Serafina is in need of counseling. This is for her own good. I've made myself clear. Let the higher-ups know that they are welcome to dispute me. He's a measly headmaster. He shouldn't have the power to push... He shouldn't have the power pushed back. He shouldn't have the power pushed back like this. What? Weird wording again. I think Uru meant to put a 2 in there. He shouldn't have the power to push back. Vaughn isn't someone we can easily persuade, but his refusal to comply today won't be overlooked. High tiers are extremely valuable to society, especially ones as powerful as Serafina and John. So if any begin to misbehave, they must be corrected immediately. No exceptions. But it's obvious since my first interview with Serafina, the headmaster is trying to keep his students away from us. Does he not care about their well-being? I just thought of something else. Something that contradicts what I originally thought, and I will go over both. There is no doubt something suspicious is going on at Wellston. Vaughn, I don't know what you're planning, but if you anger the authorities, you will regret it. Chapter's not over yet, but I want to bring this up before I forget for both points. Originally, after reading this chapter, I thought Headmaster Vaughn is connected to Ember. The reason I thought that is because he has a few students. There's a few students who could be in association with Ember. Point 1. So his refusal to comply with the authorities. He wants them to stay away. And after reading this, like, he saw how like John is around Keon because he was one of his students. He was able to piece together that John was not okay and isn't okay because of Keon. But at the same time, he's trying to keep investigators out. So what I was kind of thinking is what if he is working with Ember, like, to get abilities for them? But after seeing this, after rereading it just now, this thought just occurred to me. What if the headmaster, like Remy, suspects that the authorities are working with Ember, and he's trying to keep his students from getting hurt from them? And because it's really weird. Like, this thought just occurred to me, like, it could be this. So I'm actually not sure where it's going to go now. This is what I was saying earlier. Like Uru, like if she takes it this way, that Vaughn is actually the one working for Ember and not the authorities, completely would have blown my mind. But now I'm thinking, like, what if he also, like I just said, what if he also suspects that Ember and the authorities are linked together? Because we know that Keon, we know that his organization is handling the Ember investigation. He himself said that he has no information on that investigation because it's not his department, but we know that they do work for them. And like Remy and Blake and Ison said, the authorities are just the news are just reporting the same things over and over again. No updates on Ember, just that they killed another superhero. So it's weird. Like, what I thought is different from what I'm thinking now. That was a stupid sentence. Anyway, we'll continue on with the chapter because we're just at the end. And it's John just chilling outside, still kind of frazzled from the interview. And then he, like, grabs his head, and Sarah shows up. Hey. Oh. Hi, Sarah. And then he just immediately puts his hand down. What's the matter? Got a headache or something? Nah, I was just thinking about some stuff. And she looks at him. All right, let's start heading back then. And this part actually really hurts me. Like, I'm really sad reading this. They're walking. Hey, John, I heard them call your name into the office today. What was that all about? Oh, yeah. It was just that Keon guy from the authorities. He came to question me about UnOrdinary. No big deal, though. I made it out in one piece. Really? No month-long suspension or anything? Nope. Guess they didn't see me as a threat. They do see you as a threat. You just lied to Sarah. Being a cripple has its perks after all. And his hand is shaking again. And she grabs it. Your hand's been shaking this entire time. Are you sure you're okay? And then John freaks out kind of like he did in the one of the first chapters. Let go! He pulls his hand away. And then Sarah's just kind of shooken up. I'm still a bit nervous from the interrogation. It's fine. Nervous? Never seen him act like this before. I just need to walk around and cool off. John, since I've lost my ability, you've always had my back. And it's helped me get through everything. But this goes both ways. I can tell something's been bothering you. So please, let me know what's going on. I know I can't solve problems like I used to, but you can still talk to me. I can still listen. And he's remembering everything that Sarah's been through. Compared to what you have to put up with, my problems are nothing. Oh, come on, Sarah. You're overreacting. I told you, I'm just a bit shooken up. I'll get over it. And he just keeps walking. And Sarah just asks herself, John, why don't you trust me? That hurt me. That hurt me to read. Because, in my opinion, this is just setting John up for a bigger fall with Sarah. Who knows how Sarah will react? I hope that she will see why he's hit himself, why he lied about not having an ability. But at the same time, like, she could just be like, you lied to me, you're just like everyone else. And that could set John off the edge completely. So Sarah's, for now at least, it looks like Sarah's not going to readjustment classes. Didn't see that coming. But the relationship is starting to strain. And I think that's more evident now than it already has been. And it's really sad because, like William said, he knows that Sarah will have John's back, and he doesn't want John to mess things up for himself again. But it's not looking too good right now for John. Anyway, is there anything else I want to bring up? Not that I can think of. Not that I can think of, yeah. That was it. This has been a long video, I apologize, but chapters 134 through 136 are done. Read, reacted, discussed. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you thought about the chapters if you got the Fastpass. Check it out. The way it works is you can... I'm not going to turn this into an ad. It could be an ad, but it's not. Anyway, get the Fastpass. Doesn't cost too much, and it's cool. You get UnOrdinary, like extra. Anyway, a lot's gonna happen. We have Cecile working under John now. I wonder if she's gonna start like tagging along. Seraphina's definitely gonna notice that. Like she's gonna notice that Cecile is not someone who cares about lower tier people, and she's gonna want to know like why she's hanging around John or why she's hanging around them. I think it'd be really cute to see her and Evie and John hang out. Seraphina, Evie, and John, because I just love Evie. She's adorable. But Uru has confirmed that Fastpass will be uploaded weekly, or updated weekly like the normal chapters. So we will still be reacting live each week. Sorry that I couldn't really give you guys a live reaction, but I hope you enjoyed this discussion video. Anyway, that'll be it for UnOrdinary for this week. Next week we'll resume with chapter 137. And you know what? Something tells me it's going to be a Blake and John episode. Maybe not. I wonder how Ison's doing. Be cool to see him. It'd be cool to see Doc talk to Ison. It'd be cool to see that interaction. Be like, tell me what happened, Ison. Tell me everything that happened. Because, yeah, like, Vaughn has got to know. Like, they've got to know that John is the masked man. Like, they've got to know about that. And from what, talking about this real quick again, from what I was able to grasp, it sounds like Vaughn doesn't mind if John uses his ability, if John shows his power. Because the way he worded it, let's see, what was the exact wording? Yeah, okay, so I've always wondered why John was so ashamed of his own talents. It sounds like Vaughn wants John to, like, excel. Like any headmaster would. It sounds like Vaughn doesn't want John to be ashamed of himself, because he's admitted that he has talent. And he was curious, like, why are you hiding yourself? And it seems like he does care for John. It seems like he doesn't mind if John, like, uses his ability, or if he does, like, kind of, like, show that he is a high tier. But at the same time, he did also say that John only keeps to himself, which John necessarily does until someone else, like, steps on him, like, walks over him. So it's interesting to see what the faculty's reaction to John is going to be, if they don't already know, because the only time anyone, like, discussed John, like, showing his power was, like I said earlier, that interaction between Keen and Doc. I'm just messing with shit on my desk. That's what that was. And so they also wanted, damn, like, maybe the headmaster doesn't know because Doc asked Keen if they should report John to the headmaster. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. Anyway, that'll be it for this week's reaction. Hefty one, I know. Sorry about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look forward to next week. UnOrdinary. Fantastic. Uru, you really outdid yourself. Like, these chapters were fantastic. Flippin-tastic. A lot of suspense. A lot of things that I didn't think would happen happened. But that's going to be it. See you guys later.